All right. Hey, everybody. So I am Kelly Keeley. It is October 8th, and this is your Time to Shine call that we're going to lead right into our Wild Impact 9 p.m. call. So pretty much I'm going to go over things that you've heard again and again and about following the system and duplicating. But I'm going to kind of go a little bit deeper into that and really teach you guys what you need to be checking on your online office each week when we say make sure you're digging down into your team and checking your sponsorship drill down and checking this and checking that. I'm going to kind of fine tune it, and you might want to have a pen and paper because I'm literally going to tell you what you should once you're diamond and above, or even close to diamond, once you're ruby, even if you're emerald and you have 5 coaches, you need to be checking these things. And if you are a coach that has a goal of diamond and wants to be a leader on our team, these are things that you need to learn because you will be a leader of our team and you need to learn how to duplicate this. So it's going to be your responsibility to teach the coaches that you sign. And the thing I really want to stress tonight is that coaches that you sign, you're responsible to train. But as a leader, it is not your upline's responsibility. You need to, if you want to build a team, you need to duplicate, and you need to start teaching your coaches how to do the same. So these are some things that I'm going to review. So you hear us talk all the time about you need to do a getting started right call with your coaches. So if you only have a few coaches, you may have never led a getting started right call. I know there's a lot of different leaders in Wild Impact, and some of us have different styles. And I know some uplines are doing recorded getting started right calls. I would like to do that. I'm still at a point that I do like getting on my calls live with people because I feel like I can get to know my coaches. I love figuring out personalities, which I know Tina is going to actually lead a call in a few weeks about. I feel like I can relate to a lot of personalities, and I love understanding people. So I like to get people on the call, on the phone, on a Zoom call for getting started right. And clearly I talk with my hands. Getting people on the phone, they see you're real, you're normal, you're just like, a normal person like them, and you get to know them. And our team actually, we try and do some group Zoom calls. So if, somebody has a coach that they're going to do a getting started right call for, they'll offer it to the team. The diamonds on my team basically reach out, and we post in our team page, Team Believe, that, we're going to do a Zoom getting started right call this time, this date, if anyone has anyone that needs to get on it. So we do offer that. We try and do that about once a week, not the same day or time, but different leaders offer that. And as well, we do one-on-one getting started right calls. You can really get to know what people want from this business from those calls. And we really do stress that you should try and get these calls done in the first 48 hours. Why do we say that? Because I know myself, I signed up, I wanted a discount on Shakeology, right? I just wanted to get my shakes for free. I wanted a discount on Shakeology, but I knew deep down, I really wanted a lot more. We didn't even have GSRs back then. You need to get your coaches when they're excited. So they just signed up. Within 48 hours, if you get them on the call and you explain, hey, listen, you can get your shake for free and easily be making $250 a month from doing this, and explain how it works and go through things, you're going to spark that fire. And you want to get them when they signed up early. You don't want to wait till they've been doing this for a couple weeks now and they're frustrated because they're posting all the wrong stuff, because they're not training yet. So you want to get them when that spark is just ignited, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're not comfortable with getting started right calls, speak to your upline. I really try to get my coaches who want and have a goal to be builders and want to, build a business. They need to be confident in getting started right calls. And I will tell you, I hate public speaking still to this day, 2 years later. And I say a lot. I follow the file, okay? You print the file out. I still follow it, guys. It's okay. You get better as you go. I'm still a work in progress, and it's okay. I'm sharing this with you guys to show you that I'm real. Like, I'm just normal, and, you know, we all have our struggles. You just got to do it. If you are feeling like your sixth coach, you need to be doing your own Getting Started Right calls. If you have a goal of being diamond, just do it. You print the guide out and you do it. If your upline sends a recorded version, that's fine. But if you have the time to get your coach on the call one-on-one, do it. After you send them that, after you do your Getting Started Right call, you want to send them a welcome email. Shane has an example. You send it, you tweak it, you make it your own, and send a recorded GSR. Whatever your upline has as a recorded GSR, you want to send to them. So I'm going to talk to you guys about, like, once you are a diamond coach or close to a diamond coach, you need to be checking your online office, because anytime you see a new coach has been added to your organization, you need to know, are you responsible for them? So say I have a coach, we're just going to use the name Linda, and she signed 5 coaches in a week. She's a brand new coach. That's my responsibility. That is my responsibility. And I'm reaching out to her, and we're working together. And you also want to make sure that you're getting her on the phone and you're doing this together, which can be challenging. I understand. But that is kind of how you want to grow your team, because you want to duplicate and you want to teach them to do what you do. So you're going to send the welcome email. You're going to send the recording of the GSR. Also, guys, I want to touch on, I know the team signs a lot of discount buyers. Don't be afraid to reach out to them. They may say, yes, sign me up for that discount. And then some coaches never ask their discount buyers, hey, do you want to learn how to get your shake for free? Do you want to learn how you could maybe make $200 a month, etc.? Okay? Don't be afraid to ask. This is another example of being afraid to invite. This is another example of an invitation. So they sign a discount buyer. You, as their upline, you're going to remind them, hey guys, don't be afraid to ask. Offer that Getting Started Right call. So you're going to tread a little lighter with people who maybe only want the discount and they're not all-in builders. And this is where you need to tweak your Getting Started Right calls, and why I like to do them live. Because you may not go into such depth with a Getting Started Right call with a discount buyer. But I was somewhat of a discount buyer, and my spark was ignited. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't be afraid to ask. And don't be afraid to go down to your downline and say, hey, I see you signed a coach. Did you ask them, do they solely only want the discount, or maybe would they just want their shake for free? When you word it that way, they're going to be willing to get on the call with you. So keep that in mind. Something I might say is to one of my discount buyers, I might say, would you like to talk with me? And I can show you a few things, and how to just see your customer orders, because why should someone order from me when they could order from you? So I can review these things with you. So keep it light. Don't go too much into detail. Try not to say too much, because if you say too much, it overwhelms people and they're like, no, 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 I don't want any part of that. Keep it simple. So after you do the first call with people, you want to do another call. And if you have someone who's like an all-in builder, you may want to put basically the guide that's in our pages, Getting Started Right call number 1 and Getting Started call number 2. Sometimes I kind of tweak them and put it all together, and like, bam, we go over a lot of stuff, because I know they're all in. So you know what? They need to be listening to these national wake-up calls right away. They need to know about our Thursday night team calls right away, things like that. But that's where it's awesome to get on the call with people live, and you figure out what they want from this. And so you're going to send them the welcome email, and you want to send them that questionnaire, because you need to know their goals. You need to know what they want from this. If they just want $200 a month, you're not going to be putting them in, these other push groups. So The other thing that I really do is when I sign a coach, they're running my next challenge group with me. And you guys all on this call should be running your own challenge groups. Not as a team. You should be running a challenge group because why? Personally, me, I like to be inviting to my own groups. Why am I going to, and don't take this the wrong way, team challenge groups are great, but if I'm coaching somebody, I want them in my own group. So it's awesome to buddy up with other coaches on your team, but you don't want this huge challenge group that people are getting lost. I like to check in on my customers. So, and it really pushes me to invite. If I have a challenge group every month, I have somewhere to invite them. And that is actually what I've done from when I started. I always have a group to invite people to. It's not like, oh, I don't have this group, I don't have that group. I usually do multi-program groups. Sometimes when a new program comes out, I do a specific program group. But I like to be able to have a group that I know that I am checking that every day. I am engaging with my customers, my challengers. So my coaches, I treat the same way. And even discount buyers, they are my challengers in my groups. And if they're a brand new coach, that's how I mentor them. They're going to run 2 challenge groups with me. The first one, I'm going to let them tread lightly. If they are in the middle of their transformation, you know, if they have a lot of weight to lose, they may not be confident. They may not feel they can coach people, even though they can, because so many people are going to relate to them. I am going to have them run them with me, and depending on what their goals are, how they feel, their personality again, you know, depends. Are they going to do 2 posts a week? Or am I going to like let them basically like kill this challenge group and do it because they're all in, they're ready to rock. So it depends on the person again. But I usually like to start out that they post 2 days a week, and I'll post the other days, and we work together, and they get a feel for it. And then maybe their second group, they're going to really like manage it themselves. And if they sign coaches, their coaches are going to now join us together. So it's all about duplicating. So now they've ran 2 groups with you, and they're going to be ready to rock their group. Okay, so a big thing, you don't want your new coaches to feel overwhelmed. And I think this happens a lot. So you got to simplify it. So if a new Coach Basics has not started and you've had 2 calls with your coaches, you're going to use the Wild Impact Lab. And you can send, or you know, other uplines may have another lab page. You're going to send them different videos and files that they can review to get them even more prepared. I actually am a big fan of preparing them a good month before Coach Basics, but a lot of times if people are going, oh, you want to get them in right away. You want to make sure they're listening to the National Wake Up Call. Start with that. If they're, you know, all in with building a business, you're going to tell them you need to get on these Thursday 9 o'clock calls. But stress to them, and this is where you have to keep it simple. It's all about vital behaviors, guys. We didn't have any of these trainings when I started. It's vital behaviors. You want to spoon feed to them what they should be posting. They need to be adding friends. They need to be inviting 2 people a day and following up with people every day. You know, and you can tread lightly. Do it 5 days a week then with your newer coaches. They need to do this 5 days a week. If they're inviting 5 days a week and following up and adding friends and posting and being a product of the product, they're going to be, you know, helping people. So, and you got to be a product of the product. That's like, you know, the number one thing, right, guys? Like, you cannot be selling a product if you are not doing this. If you are not drinking your Shakeology every day and you're putting your shakes on hold and finding other ways to make yourself active, I'm going to be real with you. That's your first problem. You have to be passionate that, like, me and my husband, we run out of shakes. No joke. Like, I don't ever have extra shakes unless I just order extra stuff. It's not a problem in the Keeley household. So I'm a little harsh with that, but I don't get it. Like, if you want other people to drink this stuff every day, just drink it. Just drink the shake. That's the number one thing. I want to touch on this business, and I know I'm like talking and covering a lot of stuff, but I want to like get done and answer questions. So this business, I'm going to tell you, I've been a coach since March 2013, and I've learned, I thought I was abnormal to feel that this is a roller coaster until I listened to the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. There's a reason that there is a book called that, right? So Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. Compound Effect is #1 go-to for new coaches, in my opinion. Slight Edge, maybe #2. GoPro, #3. Everyone talks about, you know, Badass and Unlimited. Yes, absolutely. But there's other things that people need to learn about. We're entrepreneurs, let's face it. So Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, I'm a huge fan of. And I think when you sign up coaches that they want to work this business, you need to stress personal development, because some personalities can take the ups and downs. I've been recently telling my coaches that really want to work the business, that have reached out to me, that have said, you know, like, I feel like I'm up here one day, and then, you know, 2 days later, I'm like, oh my goodness, like nothing's going on. It's normal. It is totally normal. And if you can't handle that, that is when people quit. And that is why we need personal development. Guys, I have gone like, I'm like up here, and then literally like 5 days later, I'm like, oh, right? Like awful. But because I keep going is the only reason I am where I am. Only reason. So keep that in mind. It's normal to feel that way. You're normal. You're human. Listen to that book. I highly advise it if you have not listened to it again. If you haven't listened to it before, listen to it. So online office, guys, what I do. First thing I do, Monday mornings, my alerts. Now, once you guys are building a team and you're rank advancing, you're going to be like obsessed with this crap and like checking it like every morning and every night, like me and Tina do. So your alerts, you log into your online office, your alerts are on your left side. You're going to see my new coaches at it. You need to get in the habit of looking at this, because you need to know your shit. You need to look at this and you need to say, is that one of my coaches? And when you build an organization, you're going to get to a point that you're like, I don't know that upline. And shame on me, I'm getting to that point, and it's awesome sauce. But you need to get your crap together and start in the habit now and know who people are, okay? So see new coaches at it, and you need to like go in your drill down, and you need to catch, because you need to make sure that people are putting their spouses on the right side, correct side, not right side, correct side. So always check with your upline about placement. It took me a while to get to know, okay, if my coach is on this side, I'm going to share a little tidbit that I feel like is super helpful. Whatever side your coach is on that you sign up, if your coach is on your left leg, okay, and they need to sign up a spouse or family member that they're going to build that account, they share your left leg. Whatever leg they share with you is their shared leg. Think of shared leg. So whatever leg they're on, they share that with you. That is their strong leg. Whatever leg is their strong leg. So their left leg, if they're on your left leg, they share that leg with you. Their whatever family member, significant other that they're going to build goes on their right leg. If they are on your right leg and they share your right leg with you, obviously, their spouse goes on their left leg. So it can be confusing, and just always please check with your diamond upline with placement of that, because that was one of the things that took me a while to see. The other thing, guys, get in the habit of checking volume details. So when you log into your office, again, my alerts, right above there says volume details. Click on that. Get in the habit of checking that on Mondays and Wednesdays, and maybe even Thursdays. But on Mondays and Wednesdays is important to check, and especially Wednesdays. I know Tammy posted a picture about this earlier in the group, but this is where you can catch returns. And again, some of these things, guys, I'm going over, you may know, but if your coach has a return and they have an active order of Shakeology, you're going to catch that in your volume details, because you're going to click right volume and left volume when you go to volume details. And when you see a negative somewhere, you need to click on that and figure out who it is, and you can see who their upline is. And you want to let your coach know, because they could go inactive from that. But unfortunately, it's just a glitch in the system. And all they have to do is call Coach Relations and request active status guarantee. If they had an HD order that month, they can be active, and you would fix that. So there are things that you can just catch without losing rank. And it's easy, but just things to look out for. So checking volume details is very key. So pretty much, guys, I just wanted to stress that you need to duplicate what Shane has taught us all to do. So it's duplicating, it's doing it, and just, you know, you need to do it, and then you're going to teach your coaches to do it, and then they're going to do it. So the other thing is, guys, I still look many levels down. You know, like my Mondays and Thursdays and Wednesday nights, like I'm like looking all over the place. So when you go to sponsorship drill down, you want to click those plus signs. And I know Shane had posted a video from Greg Plaskett of sponsorship drill down. I can share that video again tonight if you guys have not watched it. I didn't want to go too much into detail since she already shared it, but you guys really need to like look at that every Monday and Thursday. Get in the habit now and build strong and just duplicate. So that's pretty much it. I'm out of breath. All right, questions, guys, because I know Tina's going to do a call. I'm sorry, there's all these chats, and I felt like if I read them, then I'd like not cover. Okay, so active order guarantee. It's simple. Pretty much, I honestly still don't understand why there's like a glitch in the system. I feel like if you have an active order of Shakeology, you should be an active coach. But if you had a return, and especially like it happens if, say you had 2 customers return Shakeology, that's negative 180, and you only have 90 personal volume that you ordered. That's going to make you negative 90. So all you have, it's just a glitch in the system. You just have to call Coach Relations and just say, I've had returns, I have an active order of Shakeology, I am requesting active status guarantee. And I would assume you can email Coach Relations at teambeachbody.com. Write that down, guys. Coach Relations at teambeachbody.com. However, any email takes 3 business days, so call. I'm trying to go through questions. I'm sorry. So do you want me to review about the legs again, guys? Because I feel like when I figured that out, that was like the easiest way for me to remember. So whatever leg you sign a coach up on, you sign a coach on your right, their strong leg's the right, because they share your right with you. So their weak leg is their left. You sign a coach on your left, they share that leg with you. So any coach they sign that is going to build a business goes on their weak leg, which is their right. So everyone's first coach should be set up for placement on your first Getting Started Right call, which is their strong leg. So whatever leg that coach is on, you're going to set their placement for their outside, whatever leg they're on. Then their family member, spouse, significant other, if they want to build, is going to go on the weak leg, which is the opposite. Is that helpful? Thumbs up. We can unmute everyone. So, because
I'm just going to interject on that really quickly, Kelly, because while that makes sense to me, I still have to draw it out. Like, especially if you start going a couple of levels down, like I have to see the picture and I have to see it graphically. So I have to draw me and then Kathy and then this one and that. And so I have to draw it out so I can visually see what's left and what's right. So while it makes sense to me to say, okay, if you're on my left, therefore your left is your strong. But once you start getting a couple of layers down, it gets a little bit funky. So I always like to see it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. So you'll find different tricks and tips, I think, as you go along that kind of work for you.
No, that's actually great advice, because I remember, and especially when you're building a significant other, and when I started building my husband, that's when I actually really figured it out. Because I would be like, all right, I would draw it out, and then I would question Shane, and she'd be like, you got it. And I'd be like, yes, I finally get this. So that's where it does get tricky, and I 100% agree, Tina. Like, when you draw it out, it makes sense. So, and that's actually another thing I wanted to touch on tonight, just real quick, is about understanding how people learn. So that's another thing that I question to my coaches is, like me, I tried for probably a year to do personal development reading. And it was like, I was like reading and falling asleep, and I had no idea what I just read. So once I changed it to Audible and I realized that I learned more hearing, it worked for me. But it was a shame. Like, I spent a lot of time like reading and falling asleep and thinking I was doing my personal development. No, but seriously, that is actually something I ask people right away. I'm like, you know, do you do better learning from listening to Audible, or do you enjoy to read, and are you a reader? Because if someone's a reader and they enjoy reading, they're going to love to read personal development. Me, I have to do it on Audible. So that's another question that I ask coaches. I hope this was helpful. I feel like I didn't have a lot to cover, and then I went off. Anyone have questions before we jump on Tina's call?
I'm guessing that's a no then, huh? No more questions?
I know some of it is like basics, guys, but like I feel like hearing it again and again, and just know when you duplicate and keep doing it, you see that, okay, this makes sense and things like that.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, guys.
Anything else before we switch over?
No, not at all.
You sure? Cool. All right, we're gonna keep the tape running here, and I guess I pick it up from here. Okay. So 9:01, we're going to start our Wild Impact team call. I want to thank you guys for joining us here on this Thursday night. As you know, Shane is off in San Diego, California, so lucky her. So she's out there, so she asked me to cover tonight's team call. So kind of speaking to you guys, Shane and I kind of chatted a little bit about it. So we decided that we were going to talk about social media a little bit and talking about posting on Facebook. So as you guys hop on, if you could just mute your lines for me, that would be terrific. So in case, I don't know if maybe some of you don't know who I am. I don't know. I always assume that people know who I am, but maybe you don't. So I'm Tina Killeran. I am a couple of levels down from Shane. I'm finally a 1-star diamond. Yay! Finally. Takes a long time to get there, guys. Takes a long time to get there. So I've been a coach for a little bit over 2 years. I started in September of 2013. And I know that there's a lot of coaches on this team who kind of come in, and they come in as discount buyers. So they all come in and they want their discount on their shakes. Me, I was a little bit different. I came in and I was, okay, I might as well do something with this business. I mean, this business is here for me. I might as well do it. So I'm a personal trainer. I'm a group fitness instructor. I'm certified to teach PiYo and Insanity and P90X, but I also teach boxing and kickboxing too. And I think that that was one of my downfalls with trying to build my team, because I think that people see me and they say, oh, well, you're a fitness professional. I can't do what you do. So it took me a long time to build and have people come on board. I had Kathy. Kathy's one of my great coaches who's on this call with us tonight. And she's kind of said, you know what? I love watching you do what you do. I want to do what you do. So Kathy's not a fitness professional. She's, you know, a daycare owner, right? She owns her own daycare center. But she came on board and she's a fantastic coach. So just know that based on your different walks of life, you're going to kind of run into different struggles that you have along the way. Okay. Yep. Totally not related to a little background. Okay. So tonight for you guys, I wanted to talk about, I wanted to talk about social media because as Shane and I talked about it, I think that you guys have some fears about posting on social media. And I want to kind of take those fears away, okay? And if you guys are just hopping on the call, if you guys can mute your lines, I would definitely appreciate that. I want to reinforce that you guys right now that are on this call, you're all entrepreneurs, right? We all own our own businesses. This is your business, right? You are the CEO of your business, okay? So I want you to think about Johnson & Johnson, let's just say, right? I'm going to throw in some anecdotal stories as we go along, right? If you're Johnson & Johnson, do you think that Johnson & Johnson has a social media campaign going on and they're releasing a new product, right? A strawberry scented baby shampoo. Do you think that they have a social media campaign to promote that strawberry scented shampoo? I think so. I think that they do, right? So you as a business owner, your marketing campaign, your social media campaign should be something similar to what Johnson & Johnson would do for a new product release, right? So I want you to kind of think of it that way, okay? So you're no different than Johnson & Johnson other than the fact that they've been around for 100 years and you've only been doing this for a year. That's okay, no big deal. You guys should capitalize on this audience that you have. You have a very captive audience here, okay? So I want you to take out your Beachbody business for right now. Don't think about Beachbody right now. Put yourself in the eye of a consumer on Facebook, right? Because I know we all get stuck in the news feed sometimes, right? We just troll through that news feed and you're not thinking about Beachbody at the time. You're just kind of seeing what's going on with your friends, with your family, whatever it is. Do you ever notice sometimes people post though that they're ISO, they're in search of a painter, a plumber, an electrician, a realtor, right? They're all in search of, okay? Let me ask you something. And if you knew somebody, you would refer them to them, right? If you knew a painter, a plumber, or electrician, and somebody said, hey, ISO, whatever that is, you would tag that person or you would comment, hey, I know this guy. Same thing, right? So that's kind of what we're doing. We're looking for those referrals too, right? So if somebody says that they're looking for help with their clean eating, they know their nutrition's off track, that's when we're going to kind of jump on that. So we keep building that so this way people kind of catch on to that. But here's my thing. So if I were a painter or a plumber, would I post on social media? Why not? Why wouldn't you? How would you grow your market, right? Because right now, that plumber or that painter is really just looking for referrals, right? They've done a good job. They know who they work with, and they're hoping for referrals. But if I were a painter or a plumber, would I not post on my social media page to say, hey, I'm a plumber, I'm a painter, this is what I do. If you're in need of my services, call me. Okay, now here's my question. You as a consumer, would you get mad if you saw that on somebody's page? Would you get upset if you saw somebody talk about that? Right? So a lot of us as Beachbody coaches, though, I think that we think to ourselves, I don't want to irritate my friends and my family by posting about Beachbody. Mm-hmm. I don't want to irritate somebody by talking about clean eating. Why? You didn't get irritated when that guy talked about his painting services. Why would you think that your friends are getting irritated when you talk about clean eating or about your workouts?
Oh, okay.
I'm going to talk about a real estate agent, okay? Because I remember having a conversation. I have a real estate agent who's a discount buyer for me. And she and I talked about her social media campaign, and she was like, I don't know what to do, you know? So here she is. She's a successful real estate agent, and she really doesn't utilize social media to the way that I think that she could use social media for her benefit, okay? If you guys are just hopping on, if you can mute the lines, please. Right, so she's a real estate agent. She's got a new listing for a house. She's gonna post on social media, I have a brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath colonia on a cul-de-sac. Great new listing, great, child-friendly neighborhood. Let me know if you know somebody who's interested. And you think, okay, well, I'm not in the market for a new house, but okay, that's good. Good for her. You might like that post, right? Because that's great. She got a new listing. Now she's going to have an open house for that house on Sunday. So she's going to post that on social media. I have an open house for my new listing on my new open house. Come on Sunday. And you might like that post, right? Because you think, good for her, that's what she's doing. So now, let's think now. Can you guys mute? I'm sorry. Let's just think that she talks about trends. I don't know, the hottest trends for kitchen remodels. I'm not really looking to remodel my kitchen right now, but that's kind of interesting, though, that she's kind of following trends and she's giving tips out there for what the new trend for 2016 is for a kitchen remodel. Granted, it's all about quartz or marble, I don't know, concrete, whatever it is. She talks about that. She talks about color palettes, trends for 2016 for color palettes for your bathroom, right? Not really applicable to what you're looking for at your point in time, right? But she's providing value to you, is she not? She's talking about things that may or may not be relatable to where you are in your life. I want you to think about yourself as a Beachbody coach right now. You're providing value. So you talk about clean eating. You talk about the reasons why we eat well, the reasons why we drink water, the reasons why we should be exercising. We talk about being positive and motivational. We're providing value. The same thing that she would be doing if she was talking about trends for 2016 for her kitchens, right? She's providing value. And as a consumer, are you getting mad when you see her post about those trends? No, she's providing content. She's providing value to you. Okay, so I don't want you guys to ever think, no, I'm irritating my friends because I'm talking about clean eating. No, you're providing value. Okay, now, as a consumer, I'm not looking to buy a new house. I'm not looking to sell my house. I'm not looking to remodel. So as she posts this stuff, I probably scroll right by it. I may or may not like her posts. But when the time comes when I'm looking to do a kitchen remodel, will I think about her? Will she come to mind? Right? If I'm looking to put my house on the market, or if I'm looking to buy a new house, now I'm in the market for that, right? Now I'm looking for that service. What's going to come to my mind? She's going to come to mind, not because she's a discount buyer. She's going to come to mind because she's been active on social media, right? Because she's hitting me with these things of value. She's providing value to me as I've gone through, even though I didn't need her services right then and there, right? Not everybody needs us right now. Right? Not everybody's there, right? So sometimes it's a matter of timing on your posts, which is why we say post all the time, because not everybody needs your services right here and now. 6 months later, they might. 6 months later, I might put my house on the market, right? But because she's been fresh in my mind, providing all of that value to me, I'm going to capitalize on that, right? I'm going to say, hey, you've been doing all this stuff for me. I've been watching you. Right? I love seeing all of that, right? So that's what we're going to do, okay? So the moral of my story there, relative to my real estate agent friend, is what? Post more often. Post more often. Provide more value. Provide more content. And know that if you're providing value, and if you're providing good content, your audience isn't getting mad. Just the same way you don't get mad when she promotes and she talks about all of those trends and all of those things of value. Okay. Again, it's one of those things that we keep doing these things because we want to make sure that we're fresh in people's minds, because when they're ready, they're going to know who to call and who to reach out to. Okay. Moral of the story, post more. Post more, post more, post more, post more. Okay. I remember when I was first going through some Facebook training, and I think Keith Callahan said, you post, only 2% of your friends are going to see your post anyway. 2%. What does that mean? I have 1,000 friends on Facebook. 20 of my friends are going to see my post. 20. Okay? And depending, obviously, on the more likes or comments that you get, how quickly you get, that you'll go into more news feeds. But for the most part, it's 2%. Okay? So if 2% of your audience kind of gets tired of hearing about your post, okay, that's fine. I'll find another 2% who are going to see me. Okay? So just remember that you know what? Is somebody else not muted? Here, let me go through real quick. I see a lot of phones unmuted. Maybe it's harder to unmute phones. Is that a little better? A little better? Yes? Okay, good. All right, so I did a little bit of research. Sorry to take time to do that, guys. On demographics, okay? Because I think one of the things that we think about with social media is, I know that we all work on Facebook because that's where we do a lot of our work, right? We have all of our groups there, we have all of our trainings there, we have most of our friends there, and that's where we tend to do a lot of our work. But I think that sometimes we get distracted by all of the social media platforms that are out there, right? Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Vine, Snapchat, YouTube, Meerkat, Periscope. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, right? And then there's new ones popping up all the time, okay? So I did a little bit of homework just because I was kind of curious to see, okay? The reason why we do everything on Facebook is because everybody's on freaking Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook, okay? Now, that's not to say that Shane didn't find Monique and Kelly Keeley on Instagram. She did, okay? But I will tell you, though, that based on my research, and I'll give you a couple of numbers here just because I kind of found them really interesting, is we should really be hitting up Facebook more, okay? And when we talk about maximizing your efforts and your time and your energy on one social media platform before you move to another one, seriously, you need to maximize Facebook. Don't get distracted by the 7 or 8 other social media platforms that are out there before you maximize what you're doing on Facebook, okay? So really, so there's like 4 or 5 key social media platforms, okay? So I'm just going to kind of look at this and read this to you, okay? So out of the adult population, and when I say adult, it's 18 plus, okay, of people who are on the internet. So adult internet users, 72% are on Facebook. 72% of all adult users are on Facebook, okay? The second highest ranking one is Pinterest with 31%. 31% of adult internet users are using Pinterest. Do you see that huge gap there? That's a huge, huge gap, okay? Next in that is Instagram at 28%, okay? LinkedIn is 25%, and then Twitter is 23%. Huge difference there. Do you see why we need to maximize Facebook? Okay, we really need to maximize what we're doing on Facebook. If you want to reach a big audience, your big audience is found on Facebook. Okay? Hold on, I gotta find you. I gotta find who that is. There we go. All right, so we really need to maximize what we're doing on Facebook. And the same thing goes for kind of that age demographic that we're looking at, right? For the most part, Facebook ranks really high. And the reason why I ask in my post in Wild Impact, I was trying to get a sense of the age of some of us coaches in there. And I don't think we have too many coaches who are in their 20s. Maybe there's a few, but I think that probably most of us are 30 plus. Susan, I think you said that you were not anymore, right? So 79% of 30 to 49-year-olds are on Facebook. 79%. Huge audience. Huge, huge, huge audience. Okay? And for Samantha, lucky you, 25 years old. So you should be thinking about using Instagram a little bit more often. But so 79% of 30 to 49-year-olds are on Facebook, right? But if we go to Instagram, Instagram 28%, right? Again, these huge, huge difference in numbers. So I don't want you guys to get caught up with, oh, maybe I should do Instagram. Maybe I should do Periscope. Oh, maybe I should do some stuff on LinkedIn. Well, maybe I should do stuff here, blog or YouTube, or focus on Facebook. I want you guys to focus on Facebook. Maximize what you do on Facebook. Have fun on some of those other things, right? I do a little bit of Pinterest. I do a little bit of Instagram. That's mostly more for fun than anything else. I know that a majority of my business is going to be happening on Facebook. Okay. Recently, I just started working on LinkedIn a little bit more for a little bit more recruiting, right? But that's because that's a little bit more of a professional website. So I can talk more about the business opportunity there than I can about, joining my next, 21-day fixed challenge group. Okay. Because it's a little bit of a different market. It's a little bit of a different demographic there on LinkedIn than it would be on Facebook. However, what I've started doing, though, is started looking for all of my people on LinkedIn. I started looking for them on Facebook. And I'm starting to look for some of the people that I know on Facebook on LinkedIn, too. So I'm kind of trying to make that little bit of that correlation there to kind of try and tie things together. But again, I've been doing this for over 2 years. So I've kind of mastered what I'm doing on Facebook, and I can start branching out a little bit more. But for you guys who are a year in the business, less than a year in the business, I want you guys to focus on Facebook. Facebook is the easiest place to do things, okay? Again, tapping into that huge, 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 huge market. So the moral of my story is post more, right? Again, only 2% of your friends are seeing your posts, okay? You're not pissing people off. Just like my real estate agent friend isn't pissing me off with the stuff that she's posting, right? Anybody else who offers any other kinds of services, painters, plumbers, electricians, whoever it is, if they post about that stuff, that doesn't aggravate me, that doesn't irritate me. Do not think that your posts are aggravating and irritating people. So I want to kind of open up the lines, and I want to know from you, and I know that we've got some diamond leaders on the team here, so I want to hear from some of the diamond leaders on feedback. So I'm asking all of you guys, what's holding you back from posting more on social media? And I want to hear from some of the diamond leaders on why they, what's their reasoning and their response to your question on why you're not posting more on social media. So I can't see everybody, so I'm just going to ask you guys to unmute your line and talk to us. So what's holding you back from posting more on social media? Like, what's the one thing that's really holding you back from posting more? Oh, and I better get some unmutes and some questions and comments here. I get really upset if I don't hear anybody.
I can chime in real quick.
Oh, who's that?
It's Kelly. You don't want to hear from me again, but.
Hi, Kelly.
I just wanted to say, so we've been doing with some of you guys like a little, posting push kind of group to push you to post more. And some of my feedback has been from people that they're afraid that they're going to annoy people, and that maybe they should have another business page and things like that. And I remember when I first started, and Greg Plaskett said, those people can unfollow you, they can unfriend you, and they're not the people that you want to inspire. So you have to get thicker skin, and I have like the thinnest skin starting, but you have to just not care. If your posts are bothering them, there's something that's bothering, first of all, them within themselves, right? Because if what you're doing is positive and motivating and inspiring, because that's what we freaking do, there's something wrong with them within. So keep that in mind, guys, and just try not to care. I know it's really, really hard, but that's why there's that lovely button, unfollow, on Facebook. They don't have to unfriend you. They can unfollow you, and they just won't see it. So if you ever get like negative hater comments, tell them, say, just unfollow me. If my stuff bothers you, unfollow me. And just try to not let it bother you. And just post more, like Tina said.
Post more, post more, post more. Just post more. Just post more. All right. I see that there's some comments going on. I want you guys to unmute and talk to us, though. Catherine Allen, you have something written in here, but I want you to unmute and talk to us. I'm calling you out. Does she know how to? Do you know how to unmute, Catherine?
I could probably speak for some, though, too, Tina.
Okay.
I know a big struggle is always finding value in what to share, and I know I still struggle with that. Sometimes I see people's posts out there, and I'm like, holy crap, yeah, I thought of that, but I didn't think of how to put it. as far as a post, to make it be valuable to people and to be something important instead of just posting something.
Mhm.
So I think that's a big one for a lot of people, I think, including myself.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you. So I know that a lot of times we always talk about sharing your story, right? And it doesn't always have to be a big, huge story. Whenever we share our story, it doesn't have to be that huge transformation story. Like Susan Donis, your transformation's unbelievable. Like Kathy Papp, your transformation's unbelievable. It doesn't always have to be a big, huge transformation story that you share. Right, Patty, I think your posts of late have been like, how you said, okay, I'm not a runner, but I'm going to do this 5K. You know what I mean? So you shared part of that story saying, okay, this is what I'm struggling with, but this is what I'm doing. And so I think just the other day you went for a run and you talked about your run. So I think that people who've been following you would see that part of your story, right? So for me, sharing my story is not a weight loss story. It's not a weight loss journey that I have, but I did the 3-day refresh. Right? I lost 7 pounds on my freaking 3-day refresh. That's unbelievable. But I shared my story. And you know what? That was enough to inspire a couple of challenge pack sales already this month. So it's little things like that you just share your experiences. It's one of the reasons why we tell you to be a product of the product. It's not only that, you need to drink your shakes, but it's so you can talk about what happens to you when you drink your shakes. It's talking about what happens to you when you do Insanity Max 30 or Body Beast or Hammer and Chisel when that comes out in December. It's all about those things and following that journey. So talk about your stories as you go along. It doesn't always have to be that before and after picture on that Transformation Tuesday to make it your story, right? So you can always talk about things along the way. I think that there's also a calendar that always talks about, what is it? Motivation Monday, Tasty Tuesdays, Workout Wednesdays. If you guys run dry on, I don't know what to post today, go back and see what day of the week it is. And I have to tell you, I go to Google and I go to Google Images all the time, or I go to Pinterest and I search for images all the time. So if I'm running dry on an idea, sometimes I just have to sit back and say, okay, well, what do I need today? Like what's going to inspire me to get my workout done, to eat well, to drink my shake, to get my work done that I know I need? What do I need today? Because somehow I'm imagining that what I need today is not just what I need. I imagine that a huge part of my audience needs the same thing. So whether it's humor or motivation or just something benign and stupid, feel free to talk about those things, right? Because remember, it's not just what you need is what they need. So sometimes talk to your audience that way. Anyone? Come on. We've got plenty of time. I'm on lose account here. This is untimed, man. It's not going to cut us off.
Hey, this is
what I have trouble with is I love the at-home workouts, but I work in a gym. And a lot of my people work out at that same gym. So I find it difficult how do you find that balance? I mean, is anyone else a trainer that trains people in a gym, but I love to work out at home? I don't want to work out in a gym. It's kind of like I'm an oxymoron kind of thing. So.
No, but you're at the gym though, Carissa, and you're working there.
Right.
So you're there long enough as it is. Do you want to spend another hour there doing what you have to do, or do you want to go home and spend 30 minutes doing a 21-day fix workout?
Exactly.
Or for you, P90X3 right now, right? It's a 30-minute workout. Do you want to spend an extra hour in the gym? You're there all day long.
Right.
All day long. And you know what? That's part of your story. I inspire people at the gym all day long, but to take care of me, I come home.
Ooh, you're good. You are so good.
Right?
also, can I just say?
Right here.
Also, I think that to me is like, who are you trying to talk to? Like, I'm a mom with 2 young kids, you know what I mean? I used to live in the gym, but now I can't because of my schedule, but I still enjoy going to the gym. So I talk about having the best of both worlds, being able to go out and get my social time in at the gym. But, when I don't have that, getting it done at home and saving, I used to drive 40 minutes in travel time going back and forth to the gym. So saving the time, being able to like go down to my workout and then come upstairs and clean my kitchen and saving that time. And also, I lost my train of thought, but just kind of like that thing, like you can have the best of both worlds. You can have, you know, with the workout programs, when I run a challenge group, I'll say, I don't follow the calendar exactly because I might do a gym workout that day, and this is how you do it. You just pick up that workout where you left off. So I think you should think about, or what I do is I just kind of think about people like me who have that same kind of lifestyle that want that social time, but time is important to them too. So that's my 2 cents.
Good
Thanks,
point.
Maria. That's perfect.
Thank you.
And holding.
Yep.
I also want to add that I also tell people that when you're dragging to the gym and you need some direction, that when you can stream a workout that'll give you some direction at the gym. Like I do my Beachbody workouts at the gym, because some days I go and it's everything I have in me to get me there. But once I'm there, I can have some direction and still know I'm getting a good workout in. It's not all the time, but it's definitely a good way to kind of cross over. And I have so many people ask, what are you doing? Like, what are you listening to on your phone when you're working out? So, I mean, that's another angle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the act of going to the gym because it's a routine for me. But when I'm dragging and I'm not getting on that elliptical machine, I hate that thing. So, I mean, it's a good way to give people some structure at the gym too.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So what are some of the other things that are holding some of you guys back from posting on social media? I know we kind of went off on a little bit of tangent here. Thanks, Carissa.
So this is Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
Sorry, my husband was sleeping, so I had to sneak out of the room. So I guess my biggest thing is that I start getting to the point where I feel like I'm being repetitive and I'm posting the same kind of stuff. So I like your idea of looking for different posts. And I kind of start to think, all right, did I already post this? Did I even post this meal already? And I find myself scrolling to past Facebook posts to see what I already posted so I don't do it again.
So, Catherine, let me ask you this, though. If you don't remember what you posted, why do you think that your audience is going to remember what you posted?
Very true. Very true. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, think about it. They've got 1,000 friends, too. They're scrolling through their news feeds. Are they going to be like, hey, Catherine posted that salad last week? There's no way she made that exact same salad today. No way. Yep. If you can't remember it, they can't either. They can't either.
Can I just say something? I know I'm talking a lot, Tina. I like to talk, but anyway.
I love that, Maria. You know that.
With the posting too is this is funny. I was talking to Michelle about this, but I'll be out and I'll be and I learned this from another coach. Just take pictures everywhere. I went to a party last week and I had my hair done or whatever, and I literally changed my outfit and took some more pictures or whatever. And I was posting pictures of that while I was sitting in my pajamas one day. It wasn't that day. You know what I mean? But it's material material that you have, or everybody loves inspirational quotes. Everybody loves, I think people really like food ideas. I mean, and I'll just take pictures when you can and stockpile them for posts. And have a little reservoir.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's good to have things in your suitcase to save for those dry days, right? So, I mean, if you've got, you're sitting around winter's coming, right? We're all going to be holed up in our houses for a little bit. So maybe take an hour and start just going through Google Images or going through Pinterest and looking for things that just kind of speak to you, and just kind of save them to your desktop. You know what I mean? And just kind of save them there, and just know that you can use those and pull those out at any point in time, whether it's a recipe or it's a motivational quote or if it's a cool looking picture, whatever it is. And you know what? There's times where I have no idea either. And so usually on those days when I have no idea what I want to post about, it's usually a motivational post. So it's usually something that kind of gets me out of that funk of, I don't know what to say. Well, just say something. So I go and I just okay, be a change, make a change, I don't know, whatever it is. And you can just come up with a little phrase that way. Go to Google Images and pull up quotes that come up with that. And you can talk about those kinds of things. Sometimes you just need a little bit of inspiration from those types of pictures, right? Okay, who else?
I want to say something, please.
Okay, who's that?
It's Lee.
Hi, Lee.
How are you?
I'm good.
We just had, on one of our calls with Shane, one of the things she even, like, we were talking about, we were saying, like, when you're stale like that, everyone should be following at least the top 10 coaches in Beachbody. So go to their page and see what they're posting. And even if it's not that exact same day, watch and what they're posting. I mean, they're clearly doing something right. So following the top coaches in Beachbody is so important to then, I mean, even if it's just for the ideas of what to post.
Absolutely. Lee, that's a great idea. And I know that Melanie Mitra always talks about it too. Like she doesn't post willy-nilly. Like she has clearly defined the coach that she's looking to recruit. She's named her, she's described her, she knows exactly who she looks like, what she wears, what she does on her free time. She knows exactly who that person is. So whenever she posts something, she posts as if she's talking to that person. So Melanie Mitra doesn't post willy-nilly. Maybe she's doing something that we're not, huh? I don't know, top coach in the network, I don't know. But she posts with that person in mind. So I don't know, maybe challenge yourself for the next week and kind of look and see what type of person you're looking to attract to your network, to your team. You don't have to name her. That'd be kind of cool if you did. And if you want to share that on the team page, I think that'd be kind of fun too. But go ahead and create that vision of that person, and as you post, speak to that person.
Hold on.
Speak to that person.
One second.
Tina, I've gone so far as to make a list and write out their interests and what they like to do. I have that person next to my computer.
Really want it. For strong, like 280,000.
Okay. Who is that? And we need to mute.
Okay.
Me probably.
I don't know.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, good. Patty, I'm sorry. I'm going to make you say it again because I kind of missed it.
That's okay. I've gone so far as to write down my target person. I've described what she does, if she works too much, if she's got kids, if she's always running around, what her hobbies are or what she would like them to be. And so I talk about, earning that freedom of time so you can do less to enjoy more. I have a very specific person in mind when I'm talking to them too. And usually my motivation is just what I need. And so if I'm attracting what I am, then they're going to need it too.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. That's awesome. Is that helpful to you guys? I'm hoping that you found this a little bit helpful, right? So not only are we talking about, posting with a purpose now, but we're talking about posting in general overall, right? So you're building your brand, you're building awareness for what you're doing. And remember, Beachbody is your business. This is your business. You're the CEO of the company. You're in charge of everything that your company does. And part of what your company needs to do is your company needs to market itself. You need to be a marketing person. You need to market what your company does and the services that your company provides, okay? Now that's marketing. Sales is the part of the inviting, right? And when we talk about inviting and stuff like that becomes part of your sales process a little bit. But marketing is really about posting. So remember about the painter, about the plumber, about the electrician, about the real estate person, and remember about what Johnson & Johnson would do when they're trying to do something. They would incorporate social media into their marketing campaigns. Just like you should be incorporating what you do as a Beachbody coach into your marketing campaigns. Okay, so I want you to post, okay? Now remember, that post doesn't necessarily mean, hey, 21-day fix is on sale, buy it now, with a link, right? Because Johnson & Johnson wouldn't really do that either. They would provide value, and they would provide content, and they would give you more information, and then they would probably talk to you a little bit more, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to provide content, we want to provide value, and we want to market the hell out of ourselves, right? Any last questions for me or for any of the leaders on the team who are still on this call? Any last questions, thoughts, ideas, suggestions? Somebody's got a really loud keyboard.
That's me, sorry.
That's okay. So does that mean you have a question then because you unmuted?
No, I was typing, yeah, can you repeat the last 10 minutes because my stupid laptop died and I lost the last 10 minutes.
That's okay. If the whole call has been recorded, so you can just kind of catch up. All right, we're about an hour and 10 minutes into this call, so you can kind of go to that 60-minute mark, right? Because we recorded the time to shine before that too.
Got it.
Yep. And Samantha, are you talking to me? How did I grow all my hair in one day? I straightened it. Blew out all my curls.
No, it's because Lou knew James, so I was just kind of curious. Pulled that off.
Yeah. I put on the wig. I put on some makeup. Don't I look good?
I mean, you could give Caitlyn Jenner a run for her money.
I don't know if Lou would appreciate that, but I'm sure he'll find that pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, he will. I'll make sure he knows.
Totally will. All right, guys. So if you guys have no more questions, are you sure? Last chance. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us on this Thursday night. We really appreciate the time that you guys take in trying to join us and learn a little bit of something. We love providing this kind of content and training and value to you guys every week. So let's, I don't know, let's try and get everybody on next Thursday night's call. I'm sure it's going to be a good one. I know Shane's pushing for over 100 people on the call. So let's all work really, really hard to get there, okay? So you guys have a great night, and we will see you all on the page.
Thanks, Tina.
Thank you.
Bye.